what are some of the factors that go into determining and evaluating? I want to give you, our audience, the power to think through and come up with your own opinions about what's good for the planet. So let's talk about some of those factors that make something sustainable or not.
Yeah, and first thing I jump to immediately is end of life, considering, where your packaging is going to end up after your consumer uses it. I feel like that's a huge thing to pay attention to, because, you don't want your brand floating around in a landfill, certainly, and
500 years later, they're still around, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to see, if you're using maybe like a plastic shopping bag, not that that's, terrible. I know it's a widely used practice right now. You don't want, your specific brand, like we don't want Contempo shopping bags floating around in the streets, certainly, especially, since we have a huge focus on sustainability.
Well, actually, plastic shopping bags are a horrible thing now, based on the newest Contempo innovation, which is a PHA shopping bag.
Yeah.
It looks like plastic, performs like plastic. Get your sample by emailing wow@contempopackaging.com. That was pretty good, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty good segue.
Great way to tie it in.
So let's talk about end of life. Define end of life for the audience. What is that? I love that term is beginning to become more well known, but let's define it, or at least how do you define it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's really 3 different ways that you can consider end of life. It's either, recyclable, compostable, or landfilled, or actually the 4, and then reusable. Being able to maybe wash or have a return program implemented, so you're not throwing out additional packaging, you're trying to reuse it and keep it in a kind of circular economy.
Yeah, to me, end of life is one of the pillars of someone who's thoughtful about sustainability, which is our mission, right? Bringing everyone up to speed so we can have thoughtful conversations about the best sustainable options. End of life means that we care to know what's actually happening. And I think that type of caring is something that can differentiate you as a brand, if you care to think through the end of life, moving away from the out of sight, out of mind mindset, right?
Yeah.
I put it in the trash or put it in the bin and who cares? End of life considers what's actually happening on the other side. So